Good night, everybody. It's been a hot minute since I've been live anyway. This month kind of hectic for me because last week I was sick and I had to cancel my interview from last week. So yeah, I have an interview tonight with an artist called Sing a Ding. One Ding. Just search for the artist on IG will be Sing a Ding Music. He's tagged in the comments so y'all can't miss it. Yeah. So the interview that we were supposed to have last week, I was to cancel because we both was sick to tell you the truth, and we both like he ended up in the hospital to tell you the truth. And I was sick as hell with a very bad flu that's going on all over the world to tell you the truth. So we canceled last week just to reschedule back for this week back in because my voice was completely gone and I had a fever up to 100 degree, 40, 41 Celsius, this European temperature. So I was sick. The artist was sick. The artist that I also booked in was sick as well, still sick. So yeah, we had to cancel all of that. But yeah, we up and running. My voice is back for the last 2 days. I'm good. I can't complain. I'm not sick anymore. It's just this coughing that I have. I will cough the hell out of my chest, and then my voice will go away. But today my voice is up and running, so I can't complain. And the artist himself was sick as well. So that's basically why we had to cancel appointment from both sides. He's also on the live as well, Sing a Ding Music. I'm gonna have him in a minute, but I'm just gonna run his tunes. I'm trying to connect to my my speaker box, but it's just not connecting. I think my daughter or my son is already connected to the box, and they're upstairs, so I'm not going to even bother them or even try to run upstairs to disconnect them off the box. So it's playing straight from my phone, but normally it would connect to the speaker box. I don't know why it's not connected right now. I'm kind of upset, but yeah, one of those things. So the artist is actually on the live as well, but we just want to run and tune ear with that one song live, and then I'm gonna add them in a minute and get this interview up and running real quick in and out. Yeah, I need to turn on my light right here because it seems to be a little bit dark. I don't know if you guys can see me good. Rain Cloud, so blessed yourself. DJ Rizzy, blessed yourself. Let me see who else is here. MC Pinky Brown, blessed yourself. Yeah, of course the artist himself. Everybody blessed upon himself. We're just gonna run off some of the artist tunes for now. So I don't know the artists I work with. And then I will add him on the live. But I need to go and turn on this light right here because to me it just seems to be dark when this light is always on. Ratchet Claire Cusio, blessed yourself. Let me go and switch on this light real quick. Christopher, blessed yourself. I'm just going to switch on the light real quick above my head because to me it just seems to be dark when this light is always on. But I'll be back in 2 seconds.
General babes. It's like me I think about that wine there. Yo bees like with that quick me just feel like me I am big woman thing. Yo you can't wine, you know. But watching on me I cut the voice no shots in.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just had to switch the light on because it seems a little bit leaky above my head when it's normally not. Yeah, for those who just joined, Sexy Chromas, bless up yourself. Unique Boss, 876, bless up yourself. Renzi, bless up yourself. I'm just running the artist tunes before I add him. Like I explained before, I'm trying to connect to my speaker, but it's not going through. And I have a crazy story even. What's going on? I had ordered a speaker online. I ordered a speaker that I see online. One of those little ones that I see on TikTok that you can like basically put all over the place on your walls and everywhere, and it would turn into a loudspeaker. So I ordered one of them like a month ago. Try to get in touch with them. No reply on via the Gmail. I try to get in touch with them back on TikTok. No reply. So I know that page was fake. So I lost about €20, which is not a big deal. I'm happy that I didn't pay too much money. Um, but if just say 20 people pay €20 per day to get that speaker, that's a lot of money. Like seriously, that's a lot of money. So I was scammed the first time on TikTok, and I need to make a fucking whole entire live about that shit and tag the page in it. I want the fucking €20 back. Bullshit. Robbing people because shut. But anyhow, so the thing though. Shall we bless up the song? So basically, I'm just running the artist tunes. Let me see if I could connect to the speaker box. I don't know why I'm not connected to the box these days. It's like weird. I don't understand. Why can't I connect to the speaker box? That shit pissed me off because I'm always able to connect with my phone. I'm able to connect them where the device is out of range. How can it be out of range when we're like this? Unless it's connected to either my daughter's phone or my son's phone. That would be the only reason why I can't connect to it, but it's pissing me off. But anyway, it is what it is. We go switch you off. It'll make us have you on if I can't connect to you any damn ways. So yeah, check in. I'm here. And just running your tune because I try to connect you to the speaker, but it's not picking up because, like I said, I don't my son and my daughter's phone is connected to the speaker box. One of them take the man. Oh, that is strong.
Make your body bounce.
wish I had that speaker from TikTok that I saw. It would have been perfect because it's like a handful of speaker. Like it's so small, it fit in your palm. And I pay him a damn €20 just not to be getting that damn speaker because it's a scam. It's a scam, people. So for instance, look, I have speaker up on TikTok where you can put it all over your wall and stuff like that. Do not buy it on TikTok. Find it elsewhere because TikTok is a scam. Shut your bliss up yourself. Alright, I'm gonna add the artist in a minute. He's on the live as well. Oh, sorry about that yawning, people. A bit tired. Good night, good night.
Go on.
I never to say a pickle.
Yeah, man, you know.
Good night, sing a big bless of yourself, man. How are you doing?
You know, I'm just there all it as usual.
Cool, man. You don't know the Sherp's call. Like I explained to you earlier that this is a quick interview in and out because I know you're busy yourself as well. So we just gonna run through the interview real quick. If you don't mind introducing yourself to the audience, for those that don't know who you are, introduce yourself, and I will take it from there.
I say good night, blessed love to each and every one on the live. For you hear the voice and for you see the face, you don't know a singer ding, one thing. Heart of love.
Cool, man. All right, Singading, it's a pleasure to have you over on the NetJam platform. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you over here. Thank you very much. Bless up yourself. And we just gonna jump into the interview real quick. 'Cause like I said, I know you're busy yourself. I actually had 3 interviews tonight, but I had to cancel the last 2 due to Sting. Not going to get into the whole entire shebang. But the 2 artists that I had, they're going to be performing in Sting. So everybody rehearsing the hell out of this week and next week. So yeah, so I'm having to reschedule back everybody as it. So not a big deal, but thank God you're here. At least I could do this interview with you real quick and chop it up with you and your followers as much as mine's. Again, guys, I hope everybody's doing well. Bless upon yourself, be safe. And Singading, first and foremost, I just want to say again, thank you for being on this platform. And we're just going to jump into the question then real quick. Nothing difficult, nothing personal. It's all on a music level and stuff like that. So my first question to you would be like, what do you like most about being a musician? And what got you started?
Well, music running in my family, in my blood. You understand? And, I'm doing music from a tender age. You know what I mean? From R. Kelly days. So by growing up,
way back.
and I have family in the music industry, but you know, I'm not gonna call the name still, you know what I mean? So
you don't have to. You don't have to. It's not about them, it's about you.
Yeah, so that is it. Music
Definitely.
you know what I mean?
Definitely. All right. So my second question would be, what inspired you the most to want to jump into this field, jump into this career, and make it like your breadwinner? Like, why this career?
Because I have the talent, raw talent. You know what I mean? No bag of attitude, nothing. So I decide, all right, I'm gonna chat the road with it. You know what I mean?
Got you. Could you describe to me what your creative process is like of you like coming up with an EP or an album or a single? What does that day for you look like, or that creative process? What does it look like?
Well, it looked like to me that to show the world that I got the talent, so people can know who is Singading and what about Singading. You know what I mean? So I decided to drop an album next year by the name of The Voice of Singading. Big up Bloodline Music, Future Star, and J Music. So when the album dropped, You got hear different type of style from sing-a-ding, love song, sad song, wind up song for the girls them and them thing, you know what I mean?
So the name of the album is Voice of Singing.
Yeah, the voice of sing-a-ding.
Okay,
Cause
got
I
you.
drop a EP, 2021 I think. So this time we decide so we're gonna drop an album, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be 12 track on the album. So you can look out for it.
All right, cool. When it comes to dropping a collaboration with various artists, which artists would spring to mind when it comes to doing a collab for you?
Big up Vibes Cartel at first and foremost. Yeah, big up Vibes Cartel. You know Vibes Cartel are one of the artists them where always say, yo, Ding, you can do it, and I have to big up Black Hassan. You know what I mean? And big up my brother-in-law, Duobal, over in Florida, you know what I mean? So, if I one of them, I always say, yo, Ding, you have the talent, just focus and keep on the right track, you know what I mean? So, big up Vibes Cartel also, Capitan, Sizzla Colonji, Riking King, TJ. So, you know that is it. I have to big up them artists there.
Got you. Um, are there any musician who inspired you and the quality type of music that you make that inspire you to put out the type of music that you make at this point in your career?
Yeah, man, Natty King. Natty King are one of them, the man from the East. You know what I mean? And me have to also big up Bushman. Because Bushman is the first reggae artist that made me perform on a stage show in Jamaica, which was 2013. So I have to big up Bushman.
I had an interview with him a couple of years back, and such a lovely person. Like,
Yeah, man, big up
yeah,
Bushman from the East.
Bushman is one of my favorite artists from back then. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Like the man is legendary. Let's be honest. He's not getting the praise that he deserves.
that is it. So
And the
true.
type of music that he put out from then till now. But yeah, still one of my favorite artists, regardless.
True.
Yes. All right. Could you describe your favorite venue or place or country to perform in and why?
Well, you know, say, me da love to perform at England because I got a strong fan base over there. Yeah, I would love to perform at England and big up to my African friend them said we Ghana, Zimbabwe, the whole of them places, you know what I mean?
Got you. But
Yeah.
which venue or place have you performed so far that you've actually been to that you think like, yo, I got major love from this city or this place?
Well, Jamaica the only place me perform, you know what I mean? And then since I've been in America, I perform in couple small stage shows and I get the love from the New York people, especially Bronx, you know what I mean? So I have to big up Bronx and also big up Brooklyn.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, could you explain to me like when it comes to gaining um a skill or your penmanship, which that's a part of a skill as well. Which skill have you gained since you started that you're actually still using because it's good for you because it panned out for you. It is a part of you being an artist that
Produce
you've learned
myself.
so far that you're still currently using. Okay, so
Yeah,
you're producing
producing myself,
yourself.
I myself and them things. Yo, that you can
Okay. But like when I say like skill, it could be the way you write, the way you flow, the way you take criticism, just any skills that still helping you up till today since you started in this career. You started young, like you said. You didn't give me an age, but young is quite good enough for me. But what have you learned since then that you're currently still being a part of your daily career that you're
well,
still using?
as I said, producing myself, learn to record myself because I got my own recording studio. So sooner or later, I soon start build rhythm engineer. You know what I mean? I write my own songs. You know what I mean? So
Got you.
yeah, that is an independent artist. You know what I mean?
All right. Could you explain a little bit about the performance that you did in Jamaica? How was the crowd and how beneficial was it for you?
Well, it was great, you know. The first big stage show was football in style, which was Bushman show, then Lime Road show, then Magnum Road show, you know what I mean, from parish to parish. You know what I mean? So it give me a
Got
good
you.
exposure to the people in Jamaica, like parish to parish, cause I'm a St. Thomas person, so I like to go other places like Portland and see people call my name Singer, you know what I mean? From Niggas
Definitely.
Point to Maran Point, you know what I mean?
Definitely. All right. Could you describe to me one of your least favorite performance that you did that you actually did learn something from, like it was a horrible performance, but you learned from it? Which spot was that? Where was that? And what happened?
Lime stage show. Yeah. I learn how to attack the stage more. Cause as an artist you have to have good stage performance, you know what I mean? You can't
Definitely.
just go up on the stage and you have to talk to the audience them, you know what I mean? So I learned that from there to have more stage performance and sing for the fans.
Definitely. Definitely. All right. Um, when it comes to qualities, do you think the qualities that you hold right now that's gonna make you into that hit factor, the artist that you are, that's just gonna push you into, I think you're talented. Listen to your songs and of course doing my whole research myself. I think you're a talented artist. And there's a lot of talented artists out right now. What gives you the drive and the push to say, you know what? I'm not just a talented artist, but I'm gonna make it as the artist that I am.
Well,
What's that push and that drive for you?
I'm still learning, you know. I'm still learning each day. I learn something new about the music, you know what I mean? Business wise and them things, you know what I mean? So I'm still learning.
All right, all right. Um, Apart from you having other musicians within your family, when did you decided, you know what? This is me, this is my career, this is what I want it to be, this is going to be my source of income. I don't know if you have other jobs or hobby apart from being a musician, but I'm just going at the whole picture as you being a musician. When did that hit you, like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life? What gave
Um,
you that push, that click in your head?
you know, say, I'm a kids them, and also from 2014, I really take the music business serious when I dropped my first single, which was Thomas Sweet produced on my label, Bad and Brave Records, you know what I mean? So from there, I decide, say, yo, this is my thing. But me not just have music in my head alone, cause tomorrow my voice can gone. I'm also a caregiver, you know what I mean? I'm a working person and
True.
everything, you know what I mean? Me not just do music alone.
All right, Sonia, pretty face, want to ask you a question. Go ahead, sweetheart. Normally I don't do this, but since you want to go ahead and ask a question, the floor is yours. Go
But you
ahead,
ask,
Sonia. We waiting. She said, "Let me ask the question," so I'm giving her the platform. Hey, Anna.
yeah, man, I'm a makeup artist, man.
All right, cool, no, man. Because she was saying that she wanna ask this question, so I'm just giving her the platform, which I normally don't do, but I'm trying to do something else. Okay. So Sonia, pretty face artist, would you?
Oh,
Okay.
then,
Um,
which female artist would you like to do a song with? Ah, big up
that's a part
Spice.
of my question, Sonia. But thank Sonia.
Yeah,
Don't
big
matter
up
the
Spice.
question, them.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to do a collaboration with Spice, Jada Kingdom, and also on the international act, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. You know what I mean?
All right, got you. All right. So this is my question that Sonia jumped the gun. um, who are some of your top musician influence in your life right now that you would like to, like, literally collab with, like Sonia asked before?
You meaning like who really give me the go ahead and say do this?
No, no, no. The one that the top influence, like influence you to
Oh,
want to
yeah,
go
yeah.
hard.
As I said, Vibes Cartel. Yeah, him are the man
Right?
that always I said, Ding, do you right thing? Because me not really link with nobody like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So TJ, I one of them too. TJ always tell me, say, keep focused thing and work hard. It a go happen one day, you know what I mean? So me have to big up top boss.
Got you. All right. Could you explain the steps in your writing your songs or writing a song? How does that process looks like when you're
Alright.
writing stuff?
I'm an artist that way. I don't write song again. Like if I got a rhythm, cause remember I got my own studio, so if I get a rhythm like now, I got two phones. So what I normally do to get the flow in my head, I normally play the rhythm and go on the record on my phone and record the song. So whenever time I go into the studio, I still got the same flow. I remember
Yeah.
the words, you know what I mean? So I don't really write song like that.
All right, let me ask you this. Are you the type of artist that, like you said, you don't write songs, but do you record your songs on
Yeah,
your smartphone? Or you're the type of artist that comes up with an idea and jump straight in the studio, especially because you have your own studio?
yeah,
Uh,
just
how
like
does
that.
that work? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's very easy for me because remember I'm a singer, so as long as I find a chorus, that is it.
But don't you, and that's a part of my question, but I'm gonna jump my own question. But don't you ever come to the point where like you're performing and forget your words or forget your lyrics because you didn't write them down because you just went straight to the mic and
No,
record?
no, never, never. I always remember the words of my songs because that is my song.
Definitely,
Whenever
I
I
got
do it,
you.
what, you know what I mean? I always remember.
All right. Let me ask you this. Do you prefer to be a musician by yourself, or would you like to be in a band? Like not being just one individual artist, but different people, or you're okay with just being an individual artist?
Well, as right now, still, I prefer me, myself alone. But on the other hand, I like to work with people like have my own empire, sending out
Yeah.
acts and those things, you know what I mean? So, but it's in the process though. 2023 is going to be a different formula, you know what I mean?
All right. So Sonia was asking, are you a studio artist or are you a stage artist?
Well,
Valid question.
both student stage artists. It's just that it's just that I'm a very underrated artist. You know what I mean? Cause a lot of stage show that keeping you don't see singer thing on it, but as you look on the internet, like YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, you will see a lot of songs to singer thing. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Like,
Got you.
a lot of promoters got do favoritism.
I'm gonna jump to one of Sonia's question, but I also have this question written down, but I have it in a different content written down. But we're gonna go with hers because it's the same thing. Would she ask, what's your strongest point on stage or in the studio? Like, do you think you have a stronger performance in the studio or on stage or both,
Well,
basically?
both, but I feel like the stage more. I like to see the crowd. I like to see the females. Them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, because you're interacting with the audience,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is normal.
yeah.
Sonia, I love your question, valid question, even though I have them right down too, but in a different continent, and if not give me a chance. But I got you, sweetheart, I got you. All right, my next question to you will be, what does success as a musician looks like for you? Like, what do you consider as a successful artist?
Doing my own thing, managing my own self.
Sonia, at the end of the interview, if you choose to sing one of his favorite songs, he can go ahead and do that. But in the midst of the interview, we don't do the whole song thing and thing until the end of the interview. Okay. Oh, I like Sonia's song. I like you. Yeah, on point. All right. Let me. Next question would be, singing. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years from now? How
Well,
established do you see yourself?
the last time I go on an interview, them asked me that and them said, Ding, when you see yourself next 4 years, I know COVID, Mr. Come mash up the place, you know. Mr. COVID come mash up the place. So God's willing, God spare my life. The next 4 years from now, I'm gonna be one of the greatest that the world can look up to, you know what I mean?
All right, let me ask you this. How did the COVID how did it interact in you being an artist, and how much of a foreplay did the internet have on your career? Like, was the internet good to you during the COVID? And did the COVID literally like came in and mush up whatever you had going on? How was
Uh,
that for you? How was that experience for you?
you know, so it keep my focus. Yeah, the COVID keep my focus, you know what I mean? Yeah, it never make me drop my guard. I just work. Still go party, still read my mass and them thing there. It's like it keep my focus, you know what I mean?
All right. I don't know if you want to interact with your audience online. You could go
Let's
ahead
see
if you want to,
the
because
lyrics.
there's a lot of questions going to pass across the board. So Lee 2020 was asking, do you still remember half of your lyrics? And Tanya, love you too, sweetheart, like you too. Yeah,
Remember.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But I guess as an artist, especially if you write your own songs, that's stuff that you actually do not forget
not every
unless you're on
artist do, you know.
stage. Unless you're up on stage, come, you know, some artists go up on stage and forget all of their lyrics.
That's true.
So these are some valid questions that's how come I like the interview, so I like other people with interact and ask a good question them,
One
even though
thing,
I have a good question and write down myself, but I like it, I like it, I like it. All right, can you tell me about one of the best concerts that you've ever been to, like your first concert where you're like, yo, fuck, I wish that was perfect about it. Sorry, I wish that was me, and I would love to be on that podium someday.
Reggae Sumfest.
Okay.
I like to be on Reggae Sumfest next year, you know what I mean? After the album drop,
Okay.
it's going to Bolius.
Got you. All right. How do you feel that you have improved um as a musician over the last 5 years? What improvement have you felt so far, and feel like I've passed this level to this level, and you're still elevating since you started, like we're going back 5 years ago, which you started in 2014, so that will be what, 8 years ago, but
Well,
we're going to five.
well, when we just started out, I couldn't manage rhythm and them thing. They like, oh, if you sing for rhythm, you know what I mean? So, me improve that a lot, know keys and them things, you know what I mean? And still learning same way.
Okay. All right. Sonia asked, are you good at building a song on the spot? Just meaning freestyle. How's your freestyle? If somebody drop a beat in front of you right now, how versatile are you to jump on the beat? Whether it's a reggae beat, a R&B beat, a dancehall beat, or Afrobeat, can you build a spot within
All right.
half an hour
That,
span
that
on any
question
beat?
now, out of 10, I will say like 5% because I'm not really a lyricist. But if you listen my songs, them, you can see that I'm a different type of artist. But I can do it, but I'm not really that freestyle person. You know what I mean?
All right. Again, hey, Sanya, me not like you want to come take over my interview, because my next question do you play any instrument? And Sanya just ask up the good question them. That's why I like her. Do you play any instruments at this point in your career?
No, but I got the equipments them though. But soon, next year I'm gonna take the thing fully out. You know what I mean? Big
All
up
right.
Bloodline. Just checking on the live. He's
Bloodline
also
Black
part of,
Hotel.
yeah. He's also part of the album. He is the CEO. Yeah.
All right, sing it in. Quick question. How do you overcome disappointments after a major performance or a delivery that you think you could have done better at? How do you deal with something like that? What's your reaction? What will be your next reaction?
Well, just going to the studio men's get a shot at any and just meds. So where I went wrong, you know what I mean, and then keep focus on the next track, you know what I mean?
All right. Put it this way. You gotta go in the studio. Yeah? Studio's mad hectic. People all over the place. People that you can't put out of the studio. Because you have a home studio, so you can
Yeah.
dash out. You want dash out, but
Yeah.
nowhere taking it on a broader level. You gotta go into a major studio. There's people there, people laughing, making noise, smoking, drinking. How do you handle that as an
One,
artist? Are you
one voice, you know. Anytime me then at the studio, nobody talking, one voice.
so you're the type of artist that needs that
Yeah, yeah,
quiet place to
yeah,
to deliver.
yeah. Can't
Okay.
talk bad. You know what I mean?
Um, Sonia, we have already have the COVID question. He answered that already. We already asked him that, and he's like, it motivates him to go hard.
So it's
Um,
so it's
and again, I normally do not interact with the audience, but for some reason, Sonia got me on my toes, but she actually don't because Sonia, I have over 200 questions, so you can't have me on my toes. But yeah, I love you, baby. How do you prepare? No, my girl. It come like some more added to the interview because I come like you have all of my questions they were written down for much paper. You see all of them questions here? I don't know if you know you see? You see? All right, let me jump back in my question. Um okay. Is there any musician at this point in your career that you would like to work with or mentor, not a collaboration, but work with? Like help them write a song, help them with their album, help them with the beat. It doesn't matter. Like, is there an artist that you would love to work with right now? And again, not a collaboration, but work with
I will say DeMarco
DeMarco. Hey, DeMarco, bad artist, you know, fuck with DeMarco, you know.
and Christopher Martin.
Good artist them there. Good artist them there. Hold on, I'm just writing down some notes. All right. Have you ever taught any of your peers to the level where you are, or teach them how to write a song, how to perform in the studio, how to write a rhythm, how to write a beat, how to write a song, anything like any interaction with and again, it don't have to be a big artist, like an upcoming artist. Have
Yeah.
you ever done any work with upcoming artists in general?
Yeah, enough upcoming artists, like artists that pull up at the studio where don't know how to sing on a rhythm. I will say, look, take your time, focus, and listen to the keys of the rhythm, you know what I mean? So I get that a lot of time, you know what I mean?
All right, Sonia, let me answer your question real quick. My interview can last anywhere between 15 to half an hour to an hour to an hour and a half. I had an interview that lasted 3 hours, but that was more of a after we did the interview, we went into a whole entire freedom of speech and freedom of whatever. So it all depends on how good the interview is going. And if I have a other interview after him, then it only gonna last literally a hour because I only give my interviewers an hour to my next interview viewers. And he's the only one for tonight because I had to cancel the other two due to they're on Sting and a lot of rehearsal going on. So if I hope I answer your question. Sorry about that thing again, because Sonia just asked the question them so. But anyway, uh, let me ask you this: what's one of the best piece of advice have you gotten yourself from a peer or a family member or a stranger as a musician? Advice that you've gotten from anybody around you when it comes to your music career that you're still currently using, or what advice would you give to one of your peers just coming up in the industry? So there's
Well,
two questions in one.
all right. So a lot of times like family members and bigger heads like them say, yo, Ding, you're full of ambition. Cause you've been to America and you come here, you build your own studio, you stay by yourself, you do your own thing. So each time when I meet a new artist, like in the category of me, young upcoming artists, I always tell them that get your own studio, you know what I mean? Get your own studio so you can focus more. I don't go to nobody's studio and vice because I got my own thing, you know what I mean? So I always tell young artists, say, yo, just get your own thing do your own thing.
Definitely. So your advice to that you have ever gotten from yourself is build your own platform, of course, which is your studio, so you can
Yeah,
always jump in the studio when you feel like, and to your upcoming artists. What
straight.
if some of them are not eligible to have an home studio? What would be your advice to them coming up in the industry, as especially when it comes to doing the due diligence part? What would you advise them?
Well, I just tell them that look, just stay consistent, you know what I mean? Because you know times hard and times rough. It's not everybody can afford things, you know what I mean? So
True,
always
true,
believe in yourself. One day it go happen because me always tell myself that I'm gonna own a studio, which is I own a studio now, but I still don't own the dream studio that I want to own as yet.
true,
You know what I mean?
true, true. Got you, got you. All right. What process? How would you deal with anxiety doing a performance or before you perform? You get anxious. How do you deal with that?
All right. Whenever time I'm gonna perform, I always like sit down on my meds. Like which song me I gonna start with, the rhythm them and them thing there. I always feel nervous, no lie. Cause remember, 99% of people don't know who sing a thing, but 55 know who is sing a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
always have
yeah,
to have
yeah.
that in my brain. Cause just like an artist will go up there right now and sing a girl song, and me as an artist will sing dance or reggae music, whatever sing culture song, I can get both. So
True,
I
true.
work out for the vibes.
After the
Don't get
audience,
the
yes.
goal, you know what I mean? So that's it.
All right, let me ask you this. When it comes to, because you said you've only done performance within Jamaica and the United States, which where you reside in the States. Um, how would you deal with the process of a long term, like a tour? How do you think would you deal with a European tour of you being away from the family, the loved ones, everything that you know, and venturing into something new? How would Sing a Ding deal with that process?
Well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it good in a cause. It's something I'm want for up me. You know what I mean? Like being away like for a month. You know what I mean? So I know my family is gonna be okay. You know what I mean? But it's something that I really want, like to go on tour, to know different places. You know what I mean? And show my raw talent. So I can do. You
Definitely,
know what I mean?
definitely. Let me ask you this. We're jumping back to the whole internet thing. Um, how important has the internet been for you with your career? How much do you think you as well as much as your peer needs to do their due diligence when it comes to not only the internet but the industry in general? How important is that to you as an artist and to your peers, of course, especially the upcoming ones?
Well, it's very I would say it helped me a lot. You know what I mean? Cause social media is a thing that way build you and it break you. So social media make I gain fans, followers
True,
and Instagram. You
true,
know? So the
true.
internet helped me a lot to meet new people just as how I meet you. You know what I mean? So the
There you
internet
go.
a lot, you know what I mean? And internet about the artist them now. So it's not like this jockey not really a boss artist again, selector not really a boss artist again. It's like
True,
a man
true.
see something and put it on the internet, it go viral. So the internet helped me a lot, you know what I mean?
Before we even go any further, let me ask you this. Are you a sign artist or an individual artist? Because then we can establish how much the internet have influence on your career.
No, I'm not a sign artist. You
All
know,
right. So as an individual artist, let me rephrase my question and ask you this. How influences the internet to your career? Not signing to a label currently at this point.
well, as I said, it built me and it's very interesting to me that the internet really as not I'm not an artist that has signed as yet, but it's like I'm signed because the internet
Yeah,
I bring,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
helped me a lot,
True.
you know what I mean?
Definitely. Definitely. All right, let me ask you this, yeah? Um, since you started with your whole entire career, and especially now with the internet, because people can't say what they want to say right now, you don't have to sign, do not have to be signed to a label. to get your stuff out there. How often do you go live, and how much do you put out for your fans that's wanting you to go live on a regular basis? Because that counts as well. So how often do you go live for your audience to know what Sing Ding is up to, what are on the EP level? It doesn't matter, whatever you got going on. How often do you interact with your fans on the internet?
Well, I go live like I don't really go live like plenty times. You know what I mean? But whenever time I'm in the studio and I do a new song that it's really I'm feeling the energy, I will go
Yeah.
live interact with the fans and the followers, you know what I mean? So I go live whenever I feel like, you know what I mean? But currently right now, through we're working on the album, I'm not really on the live because you know the World Cup thing and them little thing they are going. So I'm kind
All
of
right,
off the
I got you. I got you because I'm all into the internet shit myself. Don't get me wrong, because yesterday my local team just gets sent home, but when I watch the face with the Dutch,
one Argentina, man.
my ignorance, nobody go to so don't go into Argentina, all right?
One
But
Messi.
anyway, Argentina sent me home yesterday. I'm ignorant figure to people them.
No man, you know.
But anyway, we're not taking it to football. We go back to the artist questions. Um, have you ever done any competition that you won or you was a runner-up? How was that experience for you, if you
Yeah.
did?
I said Police Youth Club. Yeah, but then
Police Youth Club?
I was in Police Youth Club and church choir, and I entered Rising Star in 2000 and I think it was 2010. But they told me I was so young, you know what I mean? So I could have passed the second audition.
Okay. All right, all right.
Police Youth Club they killed me, you know what I mean?
Listen, that's a part of your bio. So whenever time you have a bio, or if you do have a bio, drop
Yeah,
that bitch in there. So the
and
people will say you're
choir.
busy a long, long, long time. All right.
Yeah, thing that
Let me
con-
ask you this. Let me ask you this. And this is a question I try not to ask too much because sometimes it can come off as a personal question and you don't have to answer me if you don't want to. Like seriously, you don't. But let me ask you this. How is your royalties, your copyrights, how is all of that when it comes to paperworks wise? How is that put down for you?
leave the question for our next interview.
Cool, man. There you go. That's why I tell you you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Fuck
But
wide.
let me say this real quick. Any upcoming artist or any established artist, make sure your paperwork is up. Get your lawyers
Get your lawyer.
involved.
Don't follow the fine print.
All right, we'll allow that. Okay. Let me ask you this in the first place. That's one of my questions that's normally on the first 5, 10 questions. What makes you want to become an artist? And if you didn't become an artist, what would you be doing?
Well, if I never become an artist, I will be in the track and field industry, athletics, you know what I mean? Because when I was going to Paul Boga High School, I used to run at Eastern Champs at the National Stadium. So I'm always an athletic, you know what I mean? 100 and 200 meter runner. So, but you know, the fame and the hype, yeah, leave it out and just choose music, you know.
I got you. I got you. All right. Accomplishment wise, what do you want to accomplish out of this industry? What
Well,
what's your strive? What are you striving for? The hype, the fame, the money.
no,
Um,
I not do music because of money, you know. I'm doing music because I love it. So whatever I get out of music, that's it. I just want to explore the world so the fans them can love me. You know what I mean? And set the legacy, make the legacy live on.
definitely, definitely. Um, when it comes to your weakness, your strength since you started in this industry, what has been one of your weakest moment and what have been your strength that have you still going even up till now?
All right. One of my strengths are when my song them I play. when me can touch the road and me hear some random people play me song and them don't know me say, yo, that is singer thing and me don't know them. So that
Yeah.
is a great feelings. And one of my weakest right now is like is not getting an airplay. You know what I mean? Not getting an airplay because as I said before, a lot of favoritism are going in the dancehall music, you know what I mean? And enough of them selector you need to get burn out. Cause young artists like me will have talent. You know, see them a play me. But for your artists we out the long time we are seeing some foolishness and
True.
them are the artists them are play, you know what I mean?
True.
Remember, you know,
True.
bad man
True.
living
True.
in Stella Europe. You know what I mean? A conscious music, Stella Europe. Look for German. Remember, German is a man from Europe, you know. And when German come to Jamaica and perform, a lot of people don't know German. But if you go to Europe and you call German name, trust me, just like a bushman.
Let me tell you something about German or whatever his name may be. That's a man that sell out a whole entire concert, a whole entire
Just like that.
stadium by himself. By himself. Ain't
Just
no
like
lineups. The lineups
Bushman
is like a
very,
cherry on top.
yeah, Bushman
So, and
very
this is a
underrated
man.
in Jamaica. But Bushman is big in Europe. A lot of people don't know that.
All right, let me tell you something about Bushman. Like I said, I had an interview with him a couple of months ago. It's somebody that his management team is Julia. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
So me know what me a talk about. Me not chat no fuckery. Is an artist that have a name. The name will forever carry on.
Yeah.
But when there's a shift within the European audience, there's a shift within the European promotion, there's a shift within the European promoters.
Yeah.
Where artists like Bushman that have a name and can pull the crowd have to fight his way to get back into Europe because it's been a minute since he's been here, and he's been blackballed for a good minute. Don't get me wrong. I know what I'm talking about. When I tell you he's been blackballed, there's entity working against him for the last couple of years. His own peers as well. Also, people that he knows real well. I'm not trying to get into it. It's something that I'm literally not trying to get into it.
Yeah.
But it's an artist that have to prove himself back to Europe when he actually don't have to, because like I said, the man already have a name. And the man have a fame to him name. And me easily can book Bushman with any other artist. But because it's a favoritism within the industry right now, not only Jamaica, England, America, but also this side of Europe as well. He literally has to fight and push himself to get back to where he was already. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Me no want to get not too much details and cast
But you're talking facts. It's real thing, you know what I mean?
And and that, it's not only him. There's a lot of artists that being pushed to the side that they have to prove a point. Like I try to get back my spot and where I belong. The spot is yours. It ain't going nowhere. But you have to prove to this new generation, because this new generation don't know who Bushman is. They know who Skeng, and they know Skillibang, and they know Valiant, and they know all the new artists, because this is the new generation, and the music industry goes with generation. Let's be honest. I'm from the old school. I'm 43. I'm old school. Like the Bounty Killer and the Beanie Man and the Ninja Man and the Spragga Benz. That's where me come from. You understand? Those are artists that will never lose the spot that we're on. But right now, they have to fight to get back to it right now. Because the new generation will take over the things.
Yeah, different genre of music right now, just like what them say, culture vulture, whatever you want to call it.
I wouldn't even say culture vulture, because these are hardcore Jamaican upcoming artists that's taking over the place, and there's nothing wrong with it, because like I said, new generation, new type, new music, new flow. It's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But if you're trying to venture right now, 2022, 23, as an artist, you have to come out as a dancehall artist.
So true.
And you have to make yourself be known as a reggae artist. The reggae artists, them don't have them name already, you know. And them
I
can
know
book
that.
a studio or book out a club, you know. But you coming as an upcoming reggae artist, you have to come hard. You have
That's
to
true.
come past the Jamil and the Boogles and the Bounty Killer and nothing about Bounty Killer. Bounty is hardcore. But the Spragga and you know the Sizzler and all of them, they already got a name. So if
Yeah.
you're coming in as a reggae artist, if you're not come with something
Choppy line or something.
there you
Man
go.
get
And,
back.
and as a reggae artist, as a hardcore reggae artist, if you're not coming as fully done, spit it in your mouth, make you spit it out, them kind of song there, especially here in Europe, let's be honest. We can't speak to Jamaica, but so I can speak for the audience in Europe. The young generation is all about the bad man tune. If you're not singing a bad man tune right now in Europe, and you're not at on
Bad man
TikTok,
song don't
and
sell
you're
like,
not at on Snap, and you're not at on IG, I'm sorry for you.
yeah, bad man song don't sell like Europe. This is why I have to give like Cape Breton, Colonji, the whole of them man the respect. You know
They
what I
got
mean?
the name. They ain't going nowhere.
Some
Because again, the
artists,
Jamaican music is split in two, reggae or dancehall. The reggae audience have a fan that will never go anywhere. But they also sway a little bit to the dancehall. And
yeah,
the dancehall fan in Europe also sway to the reggae. But the reggae fan them not going nowhere.
I know.
They're hardcore. They die hard. They ain't going
Yeah,
nowhere. And these are white people. And
just
these
like
are white people.
we call him again, Barry Salmon. Just like a Barry Salmon fans them not gonna win,
There
you
is
know?
alone can sell out a whole entire studio. What's my studio?
A stage show.
Venue. A
Yeah,
whole entire venue by himself. And he don't even have some of a lineup. Just
I know
just
that.
the name Barry's Hammond alone sell venues. But you're talking about a veteran. They can't talk about a godfather of soul,
Some
reggae,
artists only big.
dancehall.
Some artists only big in a Jamaica, and when them do a song and it get blew up in a Jamaica, and
That's it.
and an
That's it.
international artist see it and want to remix it, that's the time when them get recognized. You know
That's
what I
when
mean?
they get a bus. All
Yeah,
right. I'm not going to call no artist
that.
name. I also have a booking agency apart from this. This company, NetJam, is built out of 4 different apartments. Yeah.
Straight.
And I've done my research and I've done my due diligence where an artist is bad right now in Jamaica, but it will cost me like €1,000 to book him.
Straight.
€1,000 is nothing. That's
So
that's nothing.
so
So for me, the book, and remember saying the artist, but you know, and take out the Joshi and the Silk Boss and the Skilly Bang, them niggas got a name. Like for me to book those artists right now, that's ridiculous. We're talking cash, hardcore cash. But you
yeah.
have some artists who are bad.
So
All these names that I call, but because they're not boss yet, and again, it all comes down to your management team. How much is your management team is willing to invest in you? How much your management team is willing to put you out there, even though you weren't the best artist,
true.
but your management team have the money to back you up.
So true.
Once you have the money to back you up, you could have sound like 2 file paper rough together. Once your management team is up with the money, I promise you, you will get bookings, you will get shows. Now, it all depends on you how you gonna perform when the time comes. That's a whole different thing. But once the money is there to push you, ain't no going back. You just gotta put out your best. And that's the thing with these upcoming artists. Can them hold them on? Can them stand by themselves? How do they perform online? And Europe is like this. We will love you now, and next year we don't want to have nothing to do with you because guess what? Nobody pop off in a look at ear, nobody pop off. But next year we don't have nothing to do with you because guess what? You didn't sound good performing live. You didn't sound good performing in a club. Your music sound good on when it's mastered, mixed, online, in a studio. You sound perfect. But how do you sound performing live? And that's what you're creating. You create for the live performance.
Some artists are pseudo artists. The thing that them put on them voice. The auto tune.
Auto tune.
Yeah. When don't get me wrong. every artist, them use the electronics, don't use autotune, but that is a lie. Every artist
Everybody else.
all autotunes on them voice. But when you go on the stage show in a big venue with a lot of people there, if you can deliver that song like what your son at the studio, it don't make no sense. Remember Munga. When Munga come out and say, my back from my band. Remember,
I
when
got
Munga,
started. What's up?
everybody, Munga was sound good. Is no Munga find the formula. When it is, me no want to get a pressure me as me wake. That's that. You know?
Good.
But
Talk to-
a lot of people don't know music, you know.
All right.
Me
Let me tell you this.
learn
A
it.
lot of artists don't get this. And
Yeah.
and we can't speak for America and England is in Europe or Canada or any other country. I can speak for the country that I live in and the people that I know. This summer, when the place open up and the concerts and the festivals them start back, there was a debate in, are we gonna book Jamaican artists, whether they're reggae or dancehall artists, or are we gonna book European reggae dancehall artists because it's cheaper, it's cheaper, they're more attainable, they're more understanding, and they're cheaper, of course. Cheaper is always the thing. And then it comes down to, all right, Jamaican artists, y'all gotta step your game up, because if you don't step your game up, and I don't scare this, I'm not really afraid to talk, I'm not really give a fuck, tell you the truth. If y'all don't step your game up, the European artists or the foreign artists gonna take y'all spot because they're cheaper, they're close by, they're more attainable, and them no give back chat, and them no war, and them no fuss. You understand?
Just
Like I've been around artists long enough for the last 10, 15, 20 years and see how they perform with the road manager, how they deal with the people that simply book a hotel for them. Like Jamaican artists have a tendency to be minakir, they're artists. And you can't do that because you're losing your spot to the European reggae dancehall artists or the European reggae dancehall artists that's just as good as you. They're not you, and they're not authentic because they're not Jamaican reggae dancehall artists. But guess what? They're in a category in Europe that said they're qualified.
True.
What are you gonna do?
So true.
Only need to break up on the folly ground and stop letting these European artists or American or Canadian or fucking PS
Them are insult.
alien take over your spot when y'all the authentic artist. Y'all too cockatino, too bossy, and because of the cockatiness and the bossiness, the European artists taking over y'all shit and eating y'all food. What I gonna do? Remember, say Shaggy have a name, Sean Paul have a name, Sizzla have a name, Capital have a name, Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, and the list go on and on. Conscience, Assassin. These niggas go book and the venue by themselves, just by the name. But
Just
what
like
about you as an upcoming artist that's not established in the business, but you're bad like that, but you're not established as yet? They're gonna choose somebody over you.
Just
Okay,
like a
look
Dexter
who
up
bossy.
right now. Dexter up can book a venue for himself and keep a stage show, and it's swallowed.
Papi, Dexter Daps, even Diani right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm working with some people that's trying to get Diani over for spring to summer. Like we're working a whole entire project. It's something that I'm not going to disclose right now. But again, these people are going after artists that have a good management team. And when I said a good management team, I simply mean it makes sense management team, not a hungry money management team, not a team that's going to make more money than you as an artist because they're robbing you, not a team that's going to take half of your money. You're lucky that you're signed to somebody and you're not even doing your research as an artist. You're just lucky so you get 2 European bookings when your management team or your label is making 3 times than what you're making as an artist. Your management team is not supposed to ever make more than you. But because you're signed to one local label and you get 2 bookings in Europe, you feel like you're up there. But my guy, you're actually losing. You're getting the big platform that you want,
True.
but if it's about the money wise, my guys, what's going on?
Hopefully, hopefully next year. Hopefully next year I'm going
All right.
to be in Europe. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. I think I kind of jumped past my question. I have just this like 2 3 more questions that I want to ask you before I go too far, because sometimes I be going a little bit too off track. It's not off track. It's a keep your ears open and keep your eyes open kind of thing. And then I
Yeah.
feel like whether you're talking too much, but sometimes I can't help because I just feel like I want to see my Jamaican people do their most best. And I'm telling you what Europe is doing. Europe tired of the fuckery. Them not tired of the
So,
artists, them tired of the fuckery. And I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, as a Jamaican female that's within the entertainment business and know a lot of artists with big name. I may attack some big name. I'm just simply saying, get your shit together because Europe is kind of tired of y'all. And that's why you have some name and win best reggae artist of the year, best dancehall artist. We never know the people in blood clot name and where they come from. But how can you win best reggae artist of the year and we don't know about you from nowhere?
I'm not lying.
Because what? They're putting in the proper works that Jamaica don't look at. You know, we're cockatiel, we're bossy, right? And we go like we're bossy and we can run things. But sometimes, because of that, we're going to lose out on the big money part. And it's not about the money, but we're going to lose out about the bigger picture. I mean, I tell you, Europe kind of tired of the Jamaican artists of the way they do certain things.
Real
Yeah,
talk.
come for your show and you bring out 10 different men. Do you know, as a promoter or as a booking agency, I got to pay for all 10 people?
Yeah, the hotel fee and them thing there.
And plus, I got to give you money to sell. If we book you for 3 venue, which is will be 3 weeks to a month, I got to pay for not only you as an artist, but I'm paying for your whole entire entourage. It's ridiculous. The promoter, them tired. May I tell you? I've heard it with my ears and see what them tired.
True.
That's why nowadays they drop it down to the artist plus 2 traveling person or the artist plus 1 person, which will be a management team and the artist, 2. You max, you only get 3 these days. And if you're a big artist like the big name them, I mean, have the money for book you, I must can book you with 3 or 4 different people. Period. Because if we can't book you alone to come with 3 different people as a big name, and I'm gonna send someone book you. But the upcoming artists, they will come without 10 different people. That's 10 different visa. That's 10 different hotels room. That's 10 different me have to pay you per day to survive. And again, I'm making that money back. And that's a whole different question. I'm not even gonna get into it. But in the first place, me still have to put out that first 10 grand to 20 grand to book you and 10 different people.
True.
Why? Why am I paying for 10 people that I will compensate that?
A real thing, man.
Get y'all shit together. That's all I'm saying. All right. I'm not even going to ask you no more questions. I'm just going to leave it at that because we already surpassed an hour. But what I want to ask you to do is tell the people who you are and what platform they can reach you, the proper name and spelling of your artist name, of course, on various platforms. And if you feel like drop a piece of tune for them, you can do that. If not, bless up who you want, bless up, big up who you want, big up. And
Yeah, first and foremost, me have to big up Sanya on the live. You see me I say?
Sanya bless you.
But to just check in, good body. Then, you see me I say? Public and big up yourself, stations, big up yourself. You see me I say? White Line. And the list goes on. Cocoa White. You know me I say? Exclusive, so you know me I say? Right now, you can find me on Instagram, SINGADINGMUSIC. Facebook, Singading, SINGADING. And Spotify, Singading. YouTube, Singading Music. I got 2 Vivo channel, but I'm currently working it 1. Yeah,
Okay.
the person what did I control it? He mess around. I'm not getting at that, so
No,
my
don't have
confidence.
to. Don't have to.
Hopefully, God spare my life next year. You guys gonna see me on a lot of stage show. The album, I'm gonna announce it right now. The album gonna be dropping in March, and also we're gonna have a pre-release party. You know what I mean? So big up Bloodline Music, Future Star, J Music. You know what I mean? I say big up all of my selector friend them who I get singer the strength. You know what I mean? I say DJ Rezi. Big up your damn self. You know what I mean? Even though my voice kinda gone still, but them say
we
we
both
not
was
gonna make
sick,
it in
innit?
life. See them now woman arise. A pretty car man a drive. Money in a bank, so I some me live my life, yeah. Them say me not gonna make it in a life. The voice kinda gone, but you don't know. The album will come out next year, the voice of Singading. So anytime you drop people, just go iCloud, Spotify, Pandora, and go buy the album. And the EP is still on same way, which is One Ding EP, produced by Future Star and J Music and City Gods. Big up me, all of my fans them. Art of Love. One Ding. That is Singading.
Cooler man, cooler man. Sanya said she wanted us to hear Cryo song. I don't know what song that was. I don't know if you sent that one to me, but she wanted us to do some special song that she wanted us to do. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, because like I said, we actually
Sure, I want to hear.
I don't know. Yeah, just bust something here. Cause Sanya a good girl. I like Sanya.
It's like a movie. Girl, you a star the show. Alright, man, I'm going another one. I wanted to slap. No, I wish bun atta, woman bun. I wish bun atta, the man bun. I wish bun atta, woman bun. I wish bun atta, the man bun. Alright. As a girl, you have to know the game. Woman smart, then nothing the same. And what you think she don't know? Everything done, stir up in her brain. Yo, woman know how to throw dice. Man know how to throw sex. Nah, going on no more, man. Isn't I say?
Tell me about Atta.
Yeah, man. I wish about Atta. But I got up on the album too, you know. So let's check it out. You see me?
Yo, people, yo. I sing a thing. Bless yourself. Keep on doing what you're doing. One advice I want to give you is
just a find out. I wish song Sanya want hear.
Yeah.
The wickedest time when the rain start fall. Every girl I make phone call. Say them want man come at them yard. Them want fear more than a ball. The wickedest time when the rain start fall. Every girl I make phone call. Say them want ding come at them yard. She want fear more than a ball. I run 10 miss call me get from Jody. She text them my phone and I say she honey. I tell me how much she want me big long body. So me jump and bite, me not drive me hardy. A 5 minutes after, as Stacy call me. So she want company. She asked me when me step on the road, did Rezi. Big up on the damn self. Big up Vice Cartel, big up Black Hazan, big up the world.
Station a fair song that, you see?
Yeah, man, big up yourself, Station.
Bless up yourself. Keep on doing what you're doing. Sky is the limit. What I need you to do for me, for you, is at least try to go live at least once or twice a month. Just randomly. 10, 15 minutes. Interact with your people and let them know what you're doing, and that's it. That's all you gotta do. Okay, so the internet,
yeah, man.
It's gonna make you or it's gonna break you, and it's not gonna be a record label. I promise you.
Art of Love. Blessings in.
Cool, man. Bless up yourself. Good night, guys. Bless up on yourself. Follow me on Yasso, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. 4 different platforms and the name remains the same. NetJam 2021. Bless up on yourself. Thank you guys for joining the live. Sing a ding. It's a pleasure to have you over here, even though you're done gone. Let me tell you that already. So, guys, thank you very much and good night. And bless up yourself. Night, guys.